Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh and this is Working Man Reads. Now today I'm going to be doing something a little fun. I'm going to be doing my first top 5 video, and it's going to be actually tackling the genre of science fiction. I'm probably going to do horror, probably going to do fantasy. I'm going to work my way through and do some top 5s for you guys because I know how much people love to know what that person on YouTube's thought process is on the certain genre that we're talking about. So today, I'm not going to say that in no particular order. I'm actually going to put them in order based on my personal opinion. But let's have some fun with it. Let me know if these are any of your favorites down below. And here we go. So let's get started with the one that I think more people definitely need to read, and that is Dune. Now, most people would probably put this at their number one. But for me, there were certain sections that were a little dry, but I do think that overall, for the time period, Dune is just absolutely breathtaking, mind-blowing. I like certain sections that I think are just iconic in a book for science fiction. And who doesn't like giant-ass sandworms? I just think the whole, when they were explaining how the suits work and how they recycle water and just everything like that, I thought it was a beautifully written book, and you definitely are pulling for the characters. If you haven't read Dune, definitely give it a read before the movie comes out, whenever the hell that is. Next up is going to be Leviathan Wakes, which is the first book in the Expanse series. I actually am trying to go, and I'm going to reread this because I recently started watching the show, and I want to give it a reread. So if you're not familiar with this, it's got a very popular show on Amazon. It used to be on Sci-Fi. But yeah, this is pretty damn good. It's kind of like a giant-ass space opera. It's like Game of Thrones in space. I know they throw that around a lot, but it might even be on the book. It's a kick-ass space opera, is what George R.R. Martin... Oh yeah, science fictional equivalent of A Song of Ice and Fire. So it literally is on the book. I knew it. I just knew it. That they put that on every book. Every book is the next Game of Thrones. It's important to remember. Next is going to be Blake Crouch's Dark Matter. This made the rounds on BookTube for a while. This is like my third copy of this book because I keep giving away copies. So I got one from Book of the Month Club, August 2016, just so that I could have my own copy. And yeah, because I had a first edition hardcover, I gave it to a buddy. I had a paperback, I gave it to a buddy because it's just my favorite. It's sci-fi horror at its best, and Blake Crouch is a genius. I get this and Recursion mixed up, which is kind of a knock towards Blake Crouch's writing if you get two of his books confused. But I'm pretty sure this one, there's like, yeah, he basically goes into like different worlds. Like he goes into like a cube, if I remember correctly, with another person, and they just are trying to get back to his family. And I just loved it. It hit me in the dad feels, and that's all that really matters. But next up is going to be Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I really like this one. I never read The Martian, but this one was freaking awesome. Dude wakes up in space, has to figure out what's going on. He's got amnesia, and he's just trying to just the way that Andy Weir writes internal monologue and like just one main character, it was beautifully done. And this is like one of the few books where a flashback, in my opinion, was executed properly. I just freaking love this book. If you haven't read this, I'm pretty sure this was a 2021 release. It's like I just read this not too long ago, and I freaking loved it. Next is the Bobverse as a whole is my final pick. Number one, Bobverse. If you haven't read Bobverse, go read Bobverse. I wish more people read Bobverse so I could talk to them about it because I freaking love it. Bobbyverse, whatever. It's amazing. Such a fun read, and I think it's just absolutely underrated. I think that everybody's talking about Dune. Everybody talks about Leviathan Wakes. Everybody talks about, stuff. Go read Bobverse because I freaking love it. And it was funny. I actually posted my review on Instagram, and the dude's wife, the author's wife, is the one that commented, "Hey, thank you for the review. That was very nice. I showed the author." I thought it was pretty funny. That's like what would happen if my dad was an author. Like I think my mom would be the one that would comment. and say like just that she's proud. She's proud of my dad. So I just think that was pretty funny. It's like an older couple thing to do. But shout out to the author and his wife. They sounded like sweethearts. And I honestly, genuinely loved the story. I didn't even tag anybody in it, like author-wise. I freaking loved it. 5 stars. Great story. Humor, witty banter. Awesome artificial intelligence that turns out to be like part of the story. What can I say? Bobverse. It's freaking awesome. And it's all like just one dude who gets multiplied, and his his brain is just like put into an AI. So all the characters in the story pretty much are him talking to himself, just clones of himself. So how do you do that as an author? That sounds freaking hard, but that's been my top 5 science fiction novels. What are your top 5? Let me know down below. Thank you.